If you find yourself struggling to improve your speed with your front crawl, you're going to want to listen to this one thing most swimmers are getting wrong and your tri coach cannot see on poolside, because it's happening underneath the water. You're super fit at cycling, you're super fit at running, but it's your swimming that's letting your game down. Stick around, as you will leave knowing exactly what to do the next time you get into the water. So what you need to do is develop better grip onto the water. And at the end of it, I bet you shave, on average, 10 seconds off every 100 meters that you swim. That's a big claim, but I bet you can do it. Now, you are probably similar to me when it comes to your triathlon game. You learned to swim properly later on in life. You weren't one of these super whiz kids at schools where they competed on a regular basis, where they can knock out 400 meters in 4.5 minutes, 5.5 minutes, so on and so forth. You learned to swim like I did at school in order not to die, not to drown, not to compete the fastest you can in a triathlon race. What I find with triathletes is that they tend to swim with the majority with their hand, and they use it as a paddle, and that is the thing that pushes back the most amount of water. But what we want to do going forwards is implement everything about the arm. So not just the hand, we will utilize some elbow all the way up to the top of your fingertips. And that's a lot of surface area compared to just the hand. So what you need to do is develop better grip onto the water. How do we get better grip on the water? We need to develop an effective catch, because when an effective catch occurs, you then get the effective pull phase within that swim stroke. Because the better the catch, the better the pull phase. The better the pull phase, the more water you are gripping onto, and the more water you're gripping onto, the faster you're going forward. However, my friends, you need to develop something else before we start talking about that catch. So what happens before that catch is that we need an effective rotation movement within your mid-back, something called your thoracics, the midsection of your back. However, if you feel that your hips or your mid-back are really stiff and you're struggling to rotate through the water, have a look at my triathlon coaching series, which is a free resource for people like you, and the link is in the description below. And as you rotate, the hips are going to rotate as well, which means you can reach as far forward as you can, and as far forward as you are there, the elbow comes up, and then side shot coming up. You want to achieve the arm position relatively straight down. A lot of the people swimming pull back like that, and it's not a great amount of surface area. We want the elbow to be higher so that forearm can do its job and pull back more water. So what drill can you use to help you practice this new movement? And when you practice this new drill, it's going to feel strange, but the more you practice the drill, the more normal it's going to feel. And trust me, when you're shaving off a bunch of time per 100 meters, per 4 lengths, you're going to enjoy this. So grab yourself a kickboard, grab it on the corner, have it long ways, and what you're going to have a look at is that your hand is going to enter just underneath where you're holding it, and aim for the opposite corner. That's also going to teach you and coach you a really good habit. It's going to teach you hand entry at your shoulder width is where it should be, rather than anywhere else, typically crossing the midline of your body. Because if you cross the midline of your body, then you're pulling out to the side, and then you're sending your body essentially to the left, which we don't want. We want to go forward. I digress. Hand entry goes underneath. Now we want to start thinking about the movement, what goes on in the elbow. We want the palm facing the back wall. Elbow is going to come up. So essentially we're going to go flat there. So the hand is flat, the elbow isn't low, it is high, and then pull through. On occasions, feel for that hand just brushing your hips, and then let the triceps finish the action off. Don't forget, the tricep is around 60% of your arm muscle, so use them. Don't enter the water early. Finish the stroke off. We could break this down further. You're going to be going at snail's pace, but the objective here isn't to go quick. The objective is to learn this new pattern of movement you're unfamiliar with. Break it down to 3 segments. Hand entry 1, high elbow 2, pull through 3. 1, 2, 3. And when you develop that catch and that pull phase, the elbow angle is typically going to be between 90 and 120 degrees. and it's something that we use and we call the power diamond, which for me, and hopefully it helps you, helps me visualize what that should look like, a diamond shape. So you pull through, diamond shape, drive through. So remember, before the catch, which follows onto the pull phase, make sure you are rotating. Feel for your hips rotating through the water, and we're not just going still. We're not just keeping it the same width. We're rotating through. Chances that your hips are rotating further up the body, that mid-back, that's also rotating. So you're corkscrewing through the water. So to put this into practical use, you could swim one length with the kickboard out in front with one arm, focusing on the other, and then when you get to the other length, return, change hands. When you get back and it's 50 meters completed, just you, no devices, no kickboard, have a go. Practice that new movement. Rinse and repeat. If you truly want to improve your swim stroke, practice this. A lot of people won't do this, but I'm sure you will do this. There you have it. Stop complaining and start doing.